Hey everybody, welcome to Falcon Plays Distant Star, Revenant Fleet. If you're wondering what the game's all about, very good question. Consider something along the lines of gratuitous space battles meets FTL. The battle system itself kind of takes place in an RTS type of system itself, so it's not like kind of like static like FTL's fighting system. However, the FTL influence does come in because the progression and the flow of the game does actually really take a lot of the FTL influences, as in when you finish off a map, you kind of have a chance to kind of jump to different type of systems, and based on what system you jump to, you'll either have a better time, a difficult time, etc, etc. There's also random events placed throughout each system, kind of like FTL, where you kind of come into a system and it'll give you a little bit of a storyline where it's kind of like, do you want to intervene with this? Would you rather not intervene? Do you want to do this? Etc, etc. So there is that influence in there alone. In saying that, the game is actually really fun. However, I will actually mention one of the biggest complaints that I've been reading so far, and I actually have to agree. The game is really difficult. That's not to sound like, you know, a casual, where it's kind of like, well, why don't you just get good, bro? Believe me, I've been trying to get good. The game is just really goddamn difficult, and to credit the developers, they actually have released a patch as of this recording right now to balance that a little bit. However, there is still more balancing to be done because you get overwhelmed so easily in this game. So, I mean, I'm over here talking about it. Let's actually get into the game to show you exactly what I'm talking about here.
It is said we were once a single people, taking our first faltering steps into the unknown. Then we discovered the Ark. An alien artifact of unimaginable power. It sent us deeper and deeper into the stars, unlocking the path to our enlightenment, even as it tore us apart. We are the Akari, keepers of the Ark. If we are warlike, it is because so many seek to destroy us. Now, the Othani, our oldest enemies, have laid siege to our home world of Eos and have dispatched a great weapon of war against us. The Erebus platform. A planet killer. A threat of such magnitude it must be destroyed, lest our enemies wrest the Ark from the molten remains of our shattered world.
Your Akari war fleet has been dispatched to intercept the Erebus platform, an Artani superweapon capable of destroying planets. Part of the way through your journey, your war leader signals an immediate drop out of inner space. Inner space. Defend yourself. So we're going to definitely go ahead and fight this battle out. New objective, survive the battle. Alrighty, so really quickly, let's over here pause. You could pause the game and get into tactical mode in case you need to maneuver around. And let me tell you right now, you're going to definitely be using tactical mode quite a bit, because if you're going to be like RTS Genius, you know, RTS, you know, Brainchild, or, you know, Golden Boy, it's not going to work out, because again, you're going to really get overwhelmed this game, so you're going to really focus a lot on tactical mode itself. Right now, we have no enemies on screen. This is going to be the only ship that right now we have control of. There's going to be other ships that are going to help us out, but none of those we could actually control ourselves. So let's get into the game over here. Let me zoom out here a little bit. So right now, these are the dudes that are kind of helping me out. We're going to be moving around right now really quickly, and moving around here, and there's going to be some enemies that we have to deal with. Number one, all these little spaceships over here aren't necessarily too strong, but they will overwhelm you quite a bit, and each attack does actually eventually start adding up because of the numerous amount of them. Right now, our main goal is to get rid of this carrier over here, which is kind of launching these bad boys into play. So I think that's going to be our number one objective over here. So what I'm going to do is actually move my spaceship up here, and start assaulting over through this side. And we're going to be using one of our skills here, which is Tactical Advantage. As a seasoned fleet commander, you know how to take advantage of any combat situation and can increase your weapon damage at will. So let's activate that really quickly. Now, right now, what we're doing is this guy is actually tearing down his shields, as you can see right there, indicated by that blue bar. Green is actually his health bar overall. That's what you want to actually take down in order to bring him down. Now, that little counter next to it right there, that is how long until his shields come back online. So basically, we have to do our damage in here as soon as possible and try to get that out of the way. Otherwise, the shields will come back up, and we're going to have to basically go into like a second wave form with him. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it, though. This is actually getting a little bit closer. I would wish that these guys would actually focus on him a bit more, but I think those shields will probably be coming up before he actually goes down. Yeah, definitely. So let me go ahead and activate this again. We have to basically bring down his shields again. Now, you see this little purple mist type of thing? That was actually shot by this guy, which should be a tech class if I'm right. They actually have the ability of just shooting this little cloud of mist, and whoever or whatever enemy is in that little cloud of mist will actually take a lot of shield damage, which is the reason why that's going down pretty fast in comparison to just bombarding it regularly. So as you can see right there, he is now Dunsky. That's the carrier out of the way, which is actually pretty good because now we don't have to worry too much about those little small dudes actually causing us too much grief over here. Now, we still have a few more enemies on the map here. We have this big dude, which is essentially the guy you want to bring down to kind of finish the mission over here, the tutorial anyway. But before we do that, I would like to actually come over down here and see if there's any more enemies for us to deal with. And there apparently is not. These are just all part of my troop over here. This guy's over here fighting it out with this guy. He should be okay with it. I'm going to go after this guy over here who hasn't really had much attention by anybody. So let me come down over here. Let's activate that. Now, again, I really want to say it's basically impossible to probably lose this mission. As you saw, though, that guy actually shot one of those purple mist at me. Thankfully, I did move out of the way to avoid that. Again, everything is RTS, so you can technically move out of the way of things to make life a lot easier for yourself. Right now, this guy just came over here in the center of everything, so unfortunately for him, we're going to basically just wreck his shit. Alright, so he's got 29 seconds before he puts those shields back up. But as you can see, we're doing over here a significant amount of work for him. What I actually like is that every time you're beating down a ship, you will see little fragments of their ship come apart, which I think is a really nice little feature in it. And we should definitely be taking care of this guy before all hands. So you know what? We might actually get into the first real mission after all, because this went a lot more smoother than I thought it would. Alrighty, and he's going to be going down. There he is. Alrighty. And that should be it for the tutorial itself. Alrighty, so here's our battle report. Over here's going to tell you, essentially, after a fight, what's happened, right? So for the status, it'll tell you who leveled up, who got some experience for their ship. New criticals means if your ship, or any of the fleets that you recruit over time, go down in a fight. Going down in a fight doesn't necessarily mean you've lost that ship, but they will have a chance to go into the next fight with a critical. Now, a critical is a negative thing. Essentially, they will either have, negative aspects or negative traits to their ship. Like, they'll probably shoot a lot slower now, they'll have lesser shields, they'll start off with lesser health, etc, etc. I'm not sure if you can clear those up over time or if they clear up by themselves. I'm not that far into the game because, again, the game is pretty hard, so I haven't really gotten too far. I'm trying to hopefully make this one of those golden runs, though, just because I'm actually filming. So let's actually go in here. We have a casual rating of a massacre. It was an ambush. You have been betrayed by your war leader, one of your closest friends, and are one of the few Akari to survive the massacre of Tartarus. Now it is up to you to lead the Akari to victory. Fight your way across the galaxy and destroy the Erebus platform before the Ortani use it to annihilate your home world, Eos, and they secure the sacred Ark forever. Salvage what you can from the wreckage of your fleet and then jump to inner space to begin your mission. Alrighty, so here is when you essentially have a chance to kind of get some more dudes to help you out over here. So this is our ship itself. We have the burst cannon, which is going to be just our typical rate of fire. We also have some strike missiles, and we also have the tactical advantage, which is the skill that I activate on occasion. Now, we have 40,000 to kind of spend, and we also have 10 supplies. Every time you jump to a new star system, your fleet consumes 1 supply per ship. If you run out of supply, bad things can happen. Now, this is actually really important because the game actually gets more difficult the less supplies you actually have. So, and also, saving in battle, like say you're kind of losing out on a battle and you want to just kind of retreat, it will actually consume 1 supply as well. One of the things that people don't really realize is that this right here is really important. Basically, the more you jump around before you get to your end goal is the game getting more difficult on you. So where you're thinking, yeah, let me just jump around for a while, accumulate some more scrap so we can level up, the game is getting harder with that itself. So you kind of have to balance it out. Is it really worth leveling up a bit or acquire more scrap? Or should I just head to the end as soon as possible, because less supplies means more of a difficult game. Now, we have a few attachments over here we can kind of attach to our assault, which I probably will, but right now we want to get at least 1 fleet to start off with. We have 40,000 scrap to kind of mess around with. The game also scales with you based on how many starships you have with yourself, so you kind of have to make that decision as well. Do I want more? knowing the fact that we're going to get even bigger assaults, or do I want less to kind of mediate it a little bit? So it's kind of up to you to figure out. I'm going to start off with the Lancer, though, because the Lancer specializes in long-range bursts of high damage and can be extremely dangerous when left unchallenged, meaning if I put this guy somewhere in the back, consider him like a sniper class in a sense, right? Put him away from battle, have him do damage from afar, while you kind of soak it up front. So we're going to get the Lancer over here, and that's okay. And now let's go to the attachments really quickly. Now for the Lancer, what can we do for you? You have the Diffusion Lance, which actually attacks from far off. You also have one more system socket over here. Now this right here tells you what you could buy for him. You can get one of these little diamond type of skills, because you can see this is more of a square, right? So the only thing we could do for this guy is either Tactical Overcharger, Fortified Hull Plating, or maybe even Fortified Shielding. But that's also based if that could work for that class. So only available on Assault, Dreadnought, Lancer, Rogue, and Gunship. So that could definitely work with him. This is going to be for what? Increases maximum shield. His shield is actually pretty low, so that wouldn't be the worst thing out there. We also have increased maximum hull. And let's see, we have Tactical Overcharger, increases damage of all weapons. That could be pretty useful as well, especially if we're going to treat him like a glass cannon in a sense, which I think I probably will. So let's install the Tactical Overcharger on him, right about here. Now, we could do something with my ship over here too, and that's either, let's see, we have Fortified Hull Plating, Fortified Shielding. Since I'm going to be trying to soaking up most of the damage, I'm going to go with Fortified Shielding more than likely. So I am going to go with Fortified Shielding right through here. Okay, now we're down to 27,000. I could buy myself another ship. The tech one is actually pretty good, because this is the one that actually shoots those mists that I told you about, that actually reduces the shield on an enemy. So that could be pretty useful for us. The Pulsar, what are you? You kind of, you actually are kind of like the quote-unquote cleric class, which you could actually, you know, heal us up in battle as well. And the gunship is kind of like a smaller, just kind of straight-up damage type of class here. I'm going to grab the tech. I think, yeah, I'm going to grab the tech as well. So we'll go Lancer Tech, and let's go into the attachment shop, and let's say we have one of these diamond-shaped things for it. For the tech, I think the only thing we could do is probably Micro Volatile Storm, which is in creating targeted storms which have negative effects on any ships that enter them. So, wait, actually, creates a volatile storm in a targeted location that damages ship's hull, but does not damage the shield. So this is basically just hull damage instead of shield damage. So it'll kind of bypass the shielding itself. So yeah, we'll grab this one as well and place it right there. Okay. Again, battles will scale depending on your fleet itself. So right now we have 3 of 5, so we could expect a little bit of bigger retaliation based on that. But we'll give it a try and see what happens here. We're ready to jump to our first actual mission over here. And let's see what we have. Now, we have 3 jumps. This is always going to be randomized. And this is right here is basically one system. If we view the galaxy right here, we're over here. Our goal is over here. So we have a lot of ways to go. And then after we're done with this sector over here and exit out, we have to come to the galaxy and be like, well, where do you want to jump now? So let me tell you, unless I pull a rabbit out of the hat right now, we're going to be doing this a little bit of time here, at least until the balancing, I think, gets a little bit more better. But I'll give it a try and see what happens here. Let's see. Over here, we have a recent update to your tactical map indicates there is an Ortani weapons testing facility at this location. So that's going to be by BAPHEF Weapon Testing Center. So, Ortani Weapons Testing Facility, that could be pretty useful. Supply designation 66G, pre-coordinates launch and teetering successful, awaiting contact. And this right here doesn't really have much. I jumped to that one. I wasn't really trying to jump to that right now. Okay, well, we'll see how that one goes. I was just trying to read it out, but there was actually no information on that one. I just clicked and it sent me there. The orbital shipyard here is registered to the Ortani, but one of their own fleets is moving in to attack it. As you jump in from inner space, you receive a Priority 1 Visicom message. I can ignore the message, the more Ortani turn upon one another the better, or I can accept the message. So, this is one of the FTL type of decisions I told you could make here. Well, let's accept the message and see what they have to say. An Ortani scientist stares shakily down the link. Are you Akari? Of course you are, foolish of me. I wish to join your cause. If you will have me, I can provide great insight on the latest Ortani tech. Let's see, our forces could always do with more of that information. You have a deal, or do you have anything else to offer? I actually like the first one. I've never had this quest before. Then again, I haven't really had many. So yeah, let's do this one. Defend the orbital shipyard and rescue the scientists. Oh, not a defending mission. Okay, so right now our objective is to defend the shipyard A and kill all enemies as well. This right here is going to be what we have to defend. Oh, I'm not too happy about this. This is not something I'm used to. I haven't done one of these missions yet, but it can't be too good. Now, if you look at the map over here, enemies cannot fly over through here. So essentially, as you can see, the map is kind of blacked out. That means no ships can come in through here. If we hang out over through this side, that's going to be our best chance to kind of keep this thing alive. So right now we have to kill all enemies and also defend the shipyard. So 2 tasks that we're kind of appointed with here. What I'm going to be doing is actually having... You are the tech, right? Let's have my Lancer hang out over here all the way in the back. And then I'm going to have my assault up front with my tech kind of nearby. Now, okay, we have some enemies coming in from this side, so I basically just screwed the pooch in that one. As you can see right now, I'm not sure how well this will look on YouTube because it tends to compress videos, but there is a little bit of a light radius kind of going through here. You could probably see the difference from this point to this one. That's basically our line of sight. We're not sure what's over here beyond, so I can't just scroll over here and be like, oh, well, there's some enemies over here. It doesn't work that way. You have to basically open up that line of sight, which is going to be really important down the line because there's going to be also, I guess, traps in space, like landmines. There's going to be some carriers that actually drop landmines, or I guess not landmines, there's more like space mines, I guess. But if you walk into those or fly into those, expect a lot of damage, so you have to be really careful about your surroundings at the same time. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to call an episode here. We will pick up from here next time around, and we'll check out what our first mission really entails of. I just wanted to give you a little quick introduction with this one and not drag it on too long. I just wanted to kind of show the basics. Next episode on, we're going to basically go in without less of a tutorialized pad and just more into the game itself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, leave a like. The support does me a lot. I will catch you next time.